Oh, good evening. I just wanted to speak today about masking when giving or receiving presents, and not liking to open presents in front of people, but also this rejection sensitive dysphoria (RSD). When giving them, what if people don't like what you've bought them? I was discussing this with a neurodivergent friend recently. And yes, my fear is, I think, more of someone not liking presents that I've given them, and more than pretending to like theirs. If someone's bought me a present, I've always been good at masking, and I would say, thank you, that's lovely, as I wouldn't have wanted to hurt their feelings ever. But I think people who struggle with needing to be honest can say, they don't have to lie, but they can say, oh, that's really sweet of you to buy me something, and I appreciate that, and thanks for remembering. And that wouldn't be a lie. It's not actually saying, oh, I love this, So you can, there's ways of getting around it. But as I say, it's more important for me not to hurt someone's feelings. You don't have to say that you love it, but happy that they remembered. But nowadays I don't open many gifts in front of people, except immediate family, because any other presents that I get, whether birthday or Christmas, would come through the post anyway. And my friend and I were discussing, when opening a present, how our faces or expressions might not be the right one, or that we might not look enthusiastic enough. That's why I preferred to open them in private, and I think as did my friend, because the idea of a friend wanting to see your face and your expression is an autistic's nightmare, because sometimes our reactions are delayed or flat. There's so many bits of information to process when opening a present, trying to work out what it is, embarrassment if we don't know what it is, or what it's for, or the sudden surprise. That's why in my family we've always relied on lists. I never thought about why, but then there's less chance for it to go wrong on all sides. It's more predictable asking people what they want. My friend and I also discussed people who feel the need to be, completely honest and tell the person that's given them a present that they don't like it, because they feel their face might give them away. But I can't do that, and neither could my friend, for fear of hurting someone's feelings. So you can get around it with the ways that I said earlier. But I do know some people's faces do give them away, and I can tell when they don't really like a present. But I suppose it very much depends on who it is, and maybe they've, even though they say, oh, thank you, but I can tell when they're not really loving something. So yeah, it's a really difficult one, and it ties into a recent blog I did, about being blunt and honest versus RSD, and this clash of traits. Myself, I would always spare someone's feelings, or try to. It's more important for me not to hurt someone's feelings. It's just not necessary. I mean, you can always give the gift away, or redonate. Redonate unwanted gifts. Charity shops rely on them. It really is the thought that counts. I mean, as a child, I agonised about getting the wrong thing for people, hence the list. I think it must have happened with other family members, but now I'm a bit more laid back. I mean, people have got me the wrong thing, and sometimes I'll get others the wrong thing. It's it's not the end of the world, and it's taken me a lifetime to get there, though. I will just say a bit of a amusing anecdote, because my mum was given a scarf by my auntie, an orange scarf, and it's not her colour. My mum isn't an orange person, but she wore it because she was seeing my auntie. And then my cousin saw my mum in this orange scarf and palmed another one off on her, saying, you like orange, don't you? So you can see how a false narrative can be set up about the sort of things that people like. And I mean, it reminds me a bit of Amazon when, you know, algorithms, you've just bought a city and suddenly they flood you with loads more cities. But that's a bit of a different thing than actually by not telling the truth, that somebody can think, oh, because you're being polite and wearing a colour that you don't like, people think, oh, you like that colour. And I mean, it happened with another family member, which, you know, I bought them chocolate gingers once, and he said they were his favourite. And so for years we'd buy him them at Christmas thinking he loved them. I mean, he said they were his favourite, right? So that was the autistic in me taking it literally. And it took years and a few drinks for him to tell me at a meal once that he didn't really like sweet things. Anyway, I digress. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening. Bye.